Well, if you're Black or Latino, you really need to pay attention right now because you got a very, very good deal. It could be a nightmare, but it may very well be entree into the American dream of home ownership. Owning a home is a wonderful, wonderful thing. Let's talk about my very first slide. Let's get into it. Now, Bank of America has announced that they have a pilot program that's targeting Blacks and Latinos, but you need to be a first time home buyer. And their target markets are Dallas, Detroit, Los Angeles, Miami, and Charlotte, North Carolina. Unfortunately, not Phoenix, Arizona, where we're at, but pretty good markets in there. Now, you've heard me talk about Florida, Texas, and Arizona being a great place to live. Here you go. Let's get into this program as to what exactly is being offered. Now, I'm not an expert on it, but I would suggest you talk to your loan officer and talk about going to Bank of America and finding out what this program is, because it could very well be a American dream. Now, just reading it, you can go to the internet and look at Bank of America's program, but the highlights are no down payment. No down payment at all. So this really helps because we are in a very difficult economic environment, going to get worse. And inflation is really eating into lots and lots of people's ability to save. No closing costs. And I'm going to tell you, closing costs can easily be 5, 6, 7,000. If you buy an expensive house, with way more than that. And they're saying no mortgage insurance premium, which is an insurance policy that insures the down payment requirements. No credit scores. They are going to use an alternative credit rating. So they're not going to be pulling credit. They're going to be checking how you've been paying your rent, how you've been paying your utilities, if you have any bills, if you've been paying on time. So they're really going to be flexible on this. And in some of these, they're actually going to give you some down payment. They're going to give you an equity position in a property that's going to be really, really good for you. You get $10,000 to $15,000 because they want you to stay in the property. They want you to build a home. And I'm going to tell you, owning a home of your own is so fabulous for your family. It's just absolutely incredible, incredible for your family. It's going to give you a really good credit ratings. You're going to build equity in a property. You get it yours. You can paint it any color you want. Throw up new lights, new decorations. You can put in grass, put in gravel, whatever you want to do. Landscape the thing. All kinds of great things happen when you own your own home. So let me just continue with this. I think this is probably a really, really pretty good deal for people. Now, this is an old chart that I got from Dr. Lawrence Yun with the National Association of Realtors. Now, I'm going to recommend that you use a realtor when you buy these, particularly if you're a first-time home buyer, because you don't know what you don't know. And a realtor hopefully is going to give you some help, and you're always welcome to reach us. But look at this. Now, this is an old chart. It's even worse now because I'll go through some of my personal research. But this is an old chart I got from Dr. Yoon. But look at this. So the wealth from 2000 to 2016 to 2018 for homeowners. Look at this. It goes from almost 200 to over 200 to over 250,000. And I'm going to say it's probably over $300,000 for the average homeowner in America. Not so much for tenants. If you're not taking advantage of buying a property for yourself, and here you have an absolute, just a wonderful opportunity. I'd go grab it as quickly as I possibly could. For tenants, they don't create wealth. Home ownership creates wealth. This is something you really need to consider. If you're Black or Latino, you're welcome to call us. We're more than happy to guide you. It is not here in Phoenix, Arizona, unfortunately, but we are pretty good at what we do. So we're more than happy to talk to you about that. Let me go to my next slide here. Now, it does not come without risk. So I want you to understand where you are in the marketplace, and there's probably a pretty good program, but you need to choose very wisely. And I'm going to tell you, if you're young and excited that you can buy a house basically for free, all you're doing is going to take over payments and guarantee that you're going to live in a house for so long. What a great deal this is. But I want you to make sure that you choose wisely. Properties are always coming to market. The market always provides. So let's make sure what you're doing. Now, here's one of my concerns. This is not 2020 when we were entering into the accumulation phase where you could buy almost anything without any risk and enjoy great appreciation. because that program wasn't available here. It's available up here where the market is pretty fully valued. In some markets, probably overvalued. And you need to make sure that you're not buying something that is just going to fall down and you're going to lose equity. Now, I think if you're in the property long enough, it's not going to make any difference to you. And I'll explain that to you. But nobody likes to buy a property and find out that it goes down in value. That's not a good thing. It's probably going to work out. So I don't mean to scare you. You just need to make sure what you're doing because the market is at an all-time high. And we're entering into a kind of a very tumultuous economic period. We've got a Federal Reserve that's out raising interest rates and it stalls the economy. Now, if you've got a good job and you got a stable job and you've got your costs under control, by all means, take a look at this, do the analysis on it. We use a buy protocol because we're professionals on it. Let me go to my very next slide. This is what concerns me a little bit. I know that this sounds very altruistic, and I don't mean to be negative, and I don't mean to be skeptical. It's just when mortgage applications, these are lenders. They make their money making loans. So their loan application is dropping significantly, almost 50%, 35, 40% for sure. And now all of a sudden they come out with a really flexible mortgage that you don't have to hardly qualify for. It's going to be really easy. They're going to put into some of the most vulnerable and at-risk populations in the United States. Now, this is a great opportunity for you, but I just want to be sure that you understand what it is that you're getting, because I saw this before in 2003 and 2004 and 2005 was really crazy with the ninja loans. Those were the no income, no job. If you could fog a mirror, you could get a mortgage, and that ended up very, very badly. And we don't want this to be a foreclosure on you. So you're just starting out, you're getting a first-time home. This is a great opportunity. We don't want that to turn into a nightmare for you. So we want to make sure that you understand exactly what you're getting into. So we want you to be sure that you're getting a fixed-rate mortgage. We think interest rates are going up, which causes rents to go up as well. So even if you don't buy this property, your rent is probably going to continue to go up. So somewhere along the line, you probably need to buy a piece of property. And first-time home buyers have really been priced out of the market anyway for the last couple of years. Let me go to my next slide. Now, you need to be concerned about this because inflation is mitigating. If you do follow my work, you'll see that we've been forecasting that. Now, if you do follow my work, I'd love you to give me a thumbs up and to subscribe. Subscriptions really help with YouTube. I'm not quite sure what the algorithms read, but it really, really helps. And we've been talking about inflation in my prior videos. And of course, rent is a subject of, food, water, and shelter. You absolutely have to have a place to live. And inflation drives rent up. And I think we're going to get a little bit of mitigation in the inflation, but I think it's coming and it's going to get even worse. Now, in the great markets of Florida, Texas, and Arizona, let me just go back to this slide. It's not just keeping up with inflation, but when you're in these big markets, and I understand we got Dallas and Miami are one of the target markets, and Charlotte, what great markets. They're organic growth markets, so they're in demand. So when you have demand, you not only have your rent goes up with inflation, it also goes up with the organic growth. These are growth markets, so this is kind of, you could be paying a lot of rent. So somewhere along, if you fixed rate your mortgage, typically when you get in, it's a little struggle for the first couple, 2 or 3 years, but this is something that you want to look for 5 or 10 or 15 years. And it just it's a game changer for a lot of people. It's just absolutely positively a game changer. So good for your family to have a house of your own. Great for your credit report. You're going to get your wealth is going to grow dramatically. I just don't want you to get in over your head. I guess that's probably in a nutshell, getting into it. Now, if you're a Black or Latino just starting out, you're very similar to my population. I deal with lots of baby boomers who are retired. They're a very vulnerable population as well. So their money is very, very sacred to them. And we have a theme of having 2 rentals in your portfolio. Now, always when I counsel my baby boomers, they should own a home of their own and they should get two rentals over the life of their living, just like their nest egg. They should somewhere along the line get two rentals because it's going to help with your purchasing power. Because in inflation, once you retire, purchasing power goes away. And if you're a Latino or a Black just starting out, you probably are feeling the effects of inflation, and it will take a little while for this to work, but it's going to work for you. So, getting a house of your own, fixing the payment, and looking 3 or 4 or 5 years out, you know you're going to start seeing the benefits. They're going to start coming in. They'll be slow at first, but you are definitely going to start seeing some benefits on this. So I would say to you that you're welcome always to reach out to us. Now, unfortunately, it's not in my marketplace here in Phoenix, but if you ever want to discuss it, we're professionals. We have a buy protocol. We've done this hundreds, if not thousands of times. So you're always welcome to reach me. I'm with West USA in Arizona. If for some reason you're watching my video, we do portfolio reviews. And if you're overseas and you're looking to get some capital into the United States, we are 100% set up for that. We'll represent you. We will do a portfolio review. We'll make sure that it's in a buy protocol. We'll do any repairs that are necessary. We'll put a tenant in and send you a check in US dollars anywhere in the world that you'd like. My very, very best to you. Let me know what your comments are, what you think of this. If we can help in any way, let us know. My best. Bye bye now, guys.